Hello, everybody. This is your daily real estate practice exam question, and I had a fun one for you. Something that I read, and I was like, "Ooh, this is a good one." So, an owner of a property with a lake has given the neighbor verbal permission to fish in the lake. The neighbor's right to use this is most likely an easement appurtenant, easement in gross, encumbrance, or a license. So let's talk about this. Let's first start with an encumbrance, right? An encumbrance is a legal claim against the property, a charge or a liability. So they come in two different types. There's financial encumbrances, which are liens, and there's also physical encumbrances, which come in the form of easements and also come in the form of things like encroachments, okay? So, an encumbrance, okay, so easements are encumbrances. So, actually, if we looked at this question, okay, and we figured it out, so let's cross off this first of all. Actually, we're going to cross off easement appurtenant. That's what we're going to cross off first, because an easement appurtenant is usually something that two adjoining properties would enter into willingly, okay, and then that easement would run with the land, okay, that would just basically run with the land, okay, and it would create a servient tenement and a dominant tenement. So what happens is this. I don't think that this is going to be an easement because there's nothing in this question that says that this is a right that's been given to them that's going to run appurtenant with the land. Also, it is not an easement in gross. This is usually held by utility companies or companies that would not be adjacent to one another. Now, one could argue that in the question, you're reading the question as they're neighbors, so they might not necessarily be adjacent to each other. Don't read too much into your questions, folks. Don't look at a question and say, oh, they're neighbors, but are they really next to each other or are they across the street from one another? Okay. I would say in this question, how I'm reading it is that they're two adjacent properties, okay? But again, the rights have not been written down and are going to be set to pass with the land. So the fact that they're not easements means that they're not an encumbrance, right? Because it would have been an easement then. So this is a license. This is a perfect example of a license. He probably could revoke that permission at any time, okay? So basically, the neighbor holds verbal permission to fish in the lake. Hope he catches a big one, okay? And the neighbor could likely cancel it at any time, and that is a perfect class act example of a license. So guys, I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, hit like, hit subscribe. That really helps out. And if you need private lessons, the link's going to be down below in the description. I'm going to see you guys real soon. Have a good one.